A warm welcome to everyone in the room to this year's Expo. We're starting this series of sourcing sessions with today's session on impact pioneers and how to create sustainable, successful fashion collections, including low minimum order quantities, one of the biggest challenges that we all face. So in this session, we're going to be hearing from a range of speakers. We've got two experts lined up for you to share answer some of the most challenging questions when it comes to sourcing and producing sustainable fashion collections. And then we're going to hear from some incredible suppliers who've joined us from around the world about what they do. Please feel free to ask questions throughout the session in the chat, and they will be passed on to the panelists. Please do take the time while you're in this session to make sure you're making the most of the Common Objective platform. So we're going to be hearing from individuals and suppliers, all of whom are represented on Common Objective, so you can connect with them directly there. If you do have a business, you can create a business profile on CoFrit and start to get seen and be visible and make connections. Your matching profile is only as good as how much information you put into it. So feel free to update your preferences. When you first joined Co, you may not have you may have different things that you're looking for. So you can update your preferences on your dashboard. That gives you different matches, helps you to find suppliers, information, tools, and training that's more aligned with your needs. And we're continually adding new content on Co. So there are over 600 resources and tools on the site now, including some great training for businesses, whatever your stage in operating sustainably or as a business. So in this session today, I'm going to be taking over at rather short notice from Andy, who unfortunately is unwell. And we also have, at the beginning of the session, two excellent speakers. So Nancy Foreman, who's founder and creative director of the Accessory think tank, long experience in fashion buying, understands the front end of the fashion industry. And we're also going to hear from Corbin, who's the founder and director of Perna Enterprises. Before we go into those Q&A sessions, I wanted to update you on the PDS Innovation Awards. We partner with one of our largest suppliers, PDS International. This is the second year that we've been running awards for our network. Now, the outcome is support, promotion, and potentially investment. We know how much that is needed for some of the exciting sustainability solutions out there. PDS International have made the decision to focus on supporting and driving change in the industry through investing in best practice. So the deadline is the 30th of June. You can find PDS on the site. If you look under Connect, you can find the PDS Awards just here, and in the PDS Innovation Hub, you can find all that you need to be able to apply. The PDS is a design-led sourcing and manufacturing platform, and it's committed to a sustainable future for fashion. And the venture arm is a 50 million VC investment fund with 18.5 million invested across over 60 startups, including businesses you may know, Matera and Good On You. So the winner can pitch for investment and be introduced to the PDS ecosystem. So I would recommend that you have a look at that. It's open to all sorts of businesses, from brands to suppliers to tech platforms that are offering solutions for change in the industry. So moving into hearing from some of our excellent speakers. So first of all, we're going to hear from Corbin. Corbin runs Perna Enterprises. Corbin, would you like to tell us a little bit about what you do at Perna? Welcome. You're muted at the moment. Can you hear me okay? Yes.
Yes.
Welcome. Would you like to tell me a little bit about what you do at Perna?
Yes, I'd love to. Yeah, we are a sewing and knitting factory in Kathmandu, Nepal. And we have about 200 staff, and we are WFTO members, and we have a mission to empower marginalized people through sustainable work, and established our company really to do that, to create good job opportunities that hopefully change people's lives through the work that we do, making beautiful garments and accessories.
Brilliant. And now I know the way you have quite a unique model that really works closely in partnerships with brands. This session is all about how to succeed with sustainable collections, even when you're ordering at low minimum order quantities. What's your advice for a brand that's looking to do that?
Yeah, I think one thing that we have found really helps brands that need to order at minimum order quantities is to create long-term partnerships with specific suppliers who have an expertise in the type of product they're looking for. And so often suppliers that specialize in a certain area, they already make something very similar to that product every day. And so for them to process your special order, that's maybe a little bit different and unique for your brand, it's not as complicated as tooling up to make a totally different new product for someone. So finding a specialist is really important. I think also recognizing that MOQs are often dependent on the material. And so choosing materials that are going to be easily available for that supplier, maybe already in stock, maybe sourced locally, are going to give you lower MOQs than if you need something specialized that's imported that they have to bring a really big batch for.
And you had an example, of a customer you work with that manages this through, especially with accessories, it working quite well to store fabric with you.
Yes, we actually have a few customers that work with us and they give a deposit, and then we're able to hold stock of their materials all the time. And then they have maybe a few dozen different styles that mix and match among those materials. And what they can do is have flexibility to tell us, hey, next month we need more of this style in this color. And we can make quite small batches of that, but still give them the best pricing because we're always making something for them. But they also don't have to wait a long time for it. They can say, next time you're making something, start making more of style A, because we're running low on that in our warehouse in their market.
And there are certain products that you do at particularly low quantities.
Yes, yeah, we specialize in baseball caps. And so for our customers that establish those kinds of relationships with us, we can do batches of 12 units, quite small, and that can be very specialized, like for a sports team or a small business, or really big runs for brands that need something for their season. But I think that specialty and the carrying materials on hand, ready to go, enables the low MOQs.
Brilliant. And how do you keep costs down with lower batched orders?
Yeah, there's a few strategies. I mean, obviously, lower batches will be less efficient. It does take more management to get ready for the next production run, to track all of the details, to set up for it. I think a few things you can do to keep costs down are design styles that share materials. So often your supplier may have to order special materials for your product. And if you are designing different styles, but they all share the same material across a few colorways, they can buy a larger quantity of material all at once, but it spreads out nicely over those different styles, and that can bring costs down a little bit. I think also that long-term relationship, if you are always making something with that supplier, but you're able to do it in really small runs for what you need right now, they can kind of lock in a lowest price for you because they can count on that production line being busy. It's the downtime that ends up being really expensive. So that system of quick turn, quick fulfillment orders, but a commitment to try to keep it busy can really give you the lowest cost. And that's where our customers have usually our best pricing.
And digital printing, there's an opportunity.
Yes, so that's one thing we've specialized in recently, and what we see from different companies is digital printing can allow you to go really small on MOQs and do many different prints and colorways because it doesn't require all the setup or the chemical processing or machinery that would require a larger batch for dyeing. And so it gives you super customizability at very small quantities to the point where sometimes it might even be a personalized garment, like one-off with digital printing is possible.
And what about impact? A lot of the designers, professionals in this room are looking to achieve the nirvana, fantastic products that are really transformative for the people that they support. How can that happen when sourcing in small batches?
Yeah, I think what we see is there's an opportunity to change people's lives with a good job. And good jobs usually mean something that's reliable and sustainable. And we see a lot of people in the garment industry have jobs that have really high busy seasons and really kind of low seasons with not much work, or they might have to travel to find the next contract. And so if you can create a system where there's always something that you need, but you don't really want to commit to huge quantity that you hold in your warehouse, but you can say, yeah, next month we're going to need something, and we can keep that line busy. That can be a beautiful relationship. So we have a customer that is always ordering something, and we keep a special material in stock just for them in about a dozen colorways. And then they can mix and match among those colors to make several dozen different styles. And because of that, there are 8 or 9 people that are always working for that company within our factory. And they kind of develop a beautiful relationship long-term in a way to say, look, these people's lives are impacted long-term because of our orders with this fair trade factory overseas.
And how about shipping?
Yeah, shipping can be a challenge. Lower quantity shipping is definitely going to be more expensive. I think I would just say that do your research. If you compare different shipping companies, can definitely drive prices down a bit. But compared to the cost of waiting for large batches to come by sea, we find that even our bigger customers that could ship by sea often choose not to. That the benefit of getting it quickly by air, reliably, sometimes outweighs those costs of the delay. So it is something that you need to factor in because smaller air shipping will be more expensive.
Thank you so much. Any final points to share with the audience before we move on?
I think one thing to remember is often the factories have MOQs because of the design of their factory and the staffing that they have. It takes some special managers to work with a customer, collect all the details of an order, get it ready for production. And if they don't have enough of capacity in that function, it doesn't really matter how big or small it is, it'll be hard to get you into production. And so factories set their manpower based on how many orders they think they'll need to fill the production. And so sometimes a bigger manufacturer just may not be the right fit if they're set up to just process really big things. And so searching around, finding a specialist that can serve you well, and then looking for creative solutions on the long term, I think can really help companies achieve lower quantities and have an impact.
Thank you so much. So Ed, we see that we've got quite a lot of interest in Perna. If you want to connect with Corbin and find out more, you can click the link. So I'm going to show you where to find this slideshow. This slideshow is in the Co-Expo section, 2-minute slides. and here. So if you want to be able to click on it and find your way to any of the content that we're sharing, or to be able to connect with anyone that you've spoken to, you can do that here. And you can see Perna's profile here with quite a lot of information about what they offer. Perna is one of our highest ranking businesses on Co. The more sustainable your business, the higher your ranking. So it's really worth putting a little bit of time into your business profile. We know that for suppliers, it makes a lot of difference. Thank you. So moving on, I know that we also have Nancy Foreman in the room. We are very fortunate to have this expert amongst us. I'm just navigating to the page. So Nancy is the founder of the Accessories Think Tank. And before she founded that, she was a senior executive at Bloomingdale's for 14 years. The Accessory Think Tank, founded 18 years ago, has since partnered with over 40 clients with a combined revenue of over 100 million. And they work with brands really across 360 degrees, from product development to production, sustainability, sourcing, branding, sales, and delivery. So Nancy really knows a thing or two about succeeding, especially when it comes to accessories. So Nancy, can you tell us a little bit about what your recommendations are when it comes to creating successful, sustainable product ranges?
Absolutely. Thank you so much for this opportunity. What an incredible group of people from all over the world. We saw the messaging come in. So again, thank you so much. In regards to creating successful, sustainable brands that have both a unique positioning in the marketplace, that fills a niche, that really talks to a community of both retailers and consumers. It's a really important one to ideate product and point of view, right? Really crafting an authentic merchandise assortment that fills a niche in the marketplace for the long term, the opposite of fast fashion. Yet product is not enough. It's very important for each brand to ensure that they have a very clear point of view in regards to consumer social responsibility, really working on one's relationships and understanding of everything that goes into a product, not just the.
Oh, we've lost sound on you. Nancy, we can't hear you very well. We could, that's better.
I was talking, obviously product, but within that, the authenticity of every aspect of how one creates the product. In regards to jewelry or accessories, really working to fine tune every aspect of product development, consumer social responsibility, supply chain.
I think you may have moved away from the microphone again. We're struggling to hear.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. Sorry, I keep getting cut off. Trying to be as efficient as possible is, again, excellence and point of view of product for the long term, an investment in a collection that stands the test of time, that fills a niche in the market, understanding that many people around the world want to come into the United States and think it's easy, yet it is the most competitive. So really understanding that, not being wasteful in a strategy of expectation that through one trade show or one PR strategy, sales will come. But going back to the sustainability aspect is really crafting and almost like a thesis, doing your due diligence in regards to the materiality, the consumer social responsibility, and the authenticity of crafting a point of view, not only as strong as in product, but also how you communicate that. As an example, I have multiple clients of mine going through B Corp pending, right? Huge for startups. And that was something that I really pushed for and searched for. So, any questions?
I mean, you've mentioned that buyers are particularly looking for this now. Not all buyers, but there are buyers that are out there
Yes.
looking to fill niches. So they've got a remit to source and stock sustainable product that they're trying to fill. And you did share an example, I'm just putting it in the chat, of a really exciting brand, Bello Bags, that you've been working with, that has filled a niche in a way that I'm sure we've all seen seatbelt accessories made from seatbelts. But if you have a look at this, it's a quite a different twist on that solution that has filled a gap.
Well, they're an incredible team that have been ahead of really the industry and thinking well before the world started to look during COVID at, what is this all about? And, especially within the fashion industry. So I've had the fortunate opportunity of working with Brilliance, i.e. The co-founders of Bello, and they themselves have taken the initial collaborative direction of understanding merchandising and creative direction, and then tying that back to a point of view in communication. So that is one example of creative excellence, and to be a part of their initial journey has been incredibly rewarding. I also feel that like-minded brands can collaborate. I mean, we've seen it with luxury brands, but especially with smaller brands, to come together to build a collaborative point of view only makes us stronger. And I'm thoroughly excited because there is a incredible brand that I have the fortunate opportunity of collaborating with, that's been featured in the New York Times twice in 6 months for its efforts in pushing the envelope in regards to how to create products from waste and plastic. So actually later today, we have a Zoom call with Bello and this brand. If anybody wants to follow, it's called Any Bag. So again, thinking about how, from a sustainability perspective, brands can come together to create collaborative efforts to make more thoughtful choices in products.
Brilliant. And one last point you made, which was about the most successful collections being timeless. And by that, you didn't mean classic, but rather the opposite of fast fashion, so that a product is always valuable. And many leading brands have a signature style. Do you want to talk a little bit more about that?
Absolutely. From my own perspective of looking at the history of my experience, as a merchant for 14 years at Bloomingdale's in the heyday of department store introductions of great brands, and then looking at clients over the course of many years in collection development, it is really about cohesiveness and consistency and identifying your strengths and then continuing to reintroduce them in new ways, so that you're consistently communicating visually also to the consumer what you stand for. And again, managing one's expectation in regards to, I've created a brand, I've introduced it to the market, both retail to key retail merchants and DTC, and it's taking longer than I'm expecting, so I'm going to move on from it, right? Those stories that we all read about brands, especially startups, because I live it, that we all think explode overnight, really take time. So if you're managing your investment, right, it really is a combination of, it's not just what you make, it's what you spend. And it's not just what you spend, it's what you make. And retail is in the detail, right? So if you blow through your investment, throwing money at too much product, right, that you're sitting on, not being realistic before you might attend a major trade show, doing your due diligence on the right retailers, not over investing, and really being committed to what you stand for in product, and standing by that, sales will come. It absolutely will come. I want to share one other thing that I'm super proud of within my own portfolio is really for a smaller company on the level of insight and relationship with the best of in supply chain that really are pushing the envelope has been incredibly rewarding for myself and my clients, whether it has to do with lab grown and working with really the only transparent lab grown company, or the understanding of the importance of not just within jewelry, talking about recycled gold versus Fairmind. And then also working with a new leather alternative that is a mix of plant-based materials that is new to the market. So, you know, a lot of really unique opportunities along with very small MOQs for startups.
Right.
And that's
well, please welcome them to create their profile on Co, and then we can promote them more easily to this audience. And
you know what? I'm going to make the, thank you for that reminder. I am going to make this introduction to you today.
And if anyone would like to connect with Nancy, of course, she is on Co, and the Accessories Think Tank has a great profile, so you can find out more about what they do. They've really achieved success with some of the brands that they're working with. Thank you so much.
So I just wanted to say thank you again, and I really appreciate the opportunity. And also I could see all the incredible manufacturers and suppliers that communicated. So I really look forward also to meeting with people globally who are developing. So thank you so much.
Thank you. So now we're going to move on to hearing from some of the brilliant people in the room, starting with MTI, sourcing agency in the USA. And Tommaso, really, I think you're here. I'd love to hear, can you please share with us a little bit about what you do and your recommendations for the audience?
Hello, good afternoon. My name is Tommaso Rulli from MTI. I'm very honored to be here. Thank you for the invitation. And I'm excited to talk to the audience that share the same values on sustainability, of course. So, shall I start?
Yes, please. You've got just under 2 minutes on the clock.
So I'll be quick. About 27 years ago, I moved to New York. I opened my textile agency with my brother Francesco. And of course, as Italians, we started from wool, recycled wool. At that time, we couldn't really advertise it was recycled. And we had our business very successful. Then I was able to expand also my business to Asia and meeting great companies in China, Korea, India. And about 10 years ago, I started focusing on sustainable materials. So, it was the right choice for sure. I also, after the pandemic, I decided to come back to Italy because I saw a big opportunity in developing a product oppositely for each market and each customer. Of course, Italy is very strong in wool that comes in very different ways. So we can have something like recycled cashmere that comes from post-consumer. I don't know if you're able to see post-consumer production. That is a very complicated, very delicate process. So I'm able to show this process to customers that are interested to buy recycled cashmere versus virgin cashmere. Then I have, for example, vegetable dye wool with beautiful colorways. So, you can have also beautiful red on vegetable dyeing that is Nativa and Woolmark certified. So also color fastness is under control in the standards, and so on. So I'm here in Italy mostly to develop product that makes sense in terms of sustainability, of course, to improve to lower the impact on the environment, but also not to be too expensive, because one of the big limits of sustainability is the cost that we have to pay for it. And there is always a cost, but it's worth to do it. So this is one part of my job that I am very excited to do it, because after 27 years of showing product that has been sent to me, now I can create my own product. Even this morning, I was in a mill located in Prato, close to Florence, and I was developing new product for the next winter fall. So one of the project, the main project I'm working on, is called Absolutely Made in Prato. Prato is one of the biggest textile cities in Europe.
I'm gonna need to stop you there. So sorry. Wait, do you just want to finish your sentence?
Yeah, it's one of the biggest textile cities in Europe, and they are also integrated with the great community of Chinese that manufacture the product that has been produced in Prato. So in 10 miles, you can find a lot of option on materials and manufacturing, and low minimum, good pricing. That's it.
Thank you so much. And please do connect with Tommaso through Co and find out more. So now we're going to move on to Herbal Fab. Welcome, Kunal. Thank you so much.
Temson.
Hi, so pleased to see you. Thanks for joining us for what is your evening. Do you want to tell us a little bit about Herbal Fab?
Yeah, sure. Hello, everyone. Myself, Kunal, one of the co-founder of Herbal Fab. We have been originally a fabric supplier, a sustainable fabric supplier for 10 plus years now. And we have now added one more wing to our basket, wherein we are GOT certified and a SEDEX audited stitching sewing factory now. And we've been promoting a lot of fibers, wherein organic cotton is our core fiber. But what the main thing which we have realized based on over the years of experience in this sustainable fashion, that most of the buyers and designers who used to come to us, they couldn't meet the mill MOQs of 1,000 meters and 1,000 kilos or 100 kilos. And that was the most point wherein we started working on rigorously since 2015, wherein we tried to create stock on fabrics on all different sustainable fibers which we are promoting. Because this is how the conventional industry is also working, where you have different models of wholesale, semi-wholesale, retail, and everybody can get their own quantities as per their business model. But why we are not able to find this in sustainable fashion is because almost everything is made to order. So to overcome this, we started on stocking on different fabrics and developing more and more sustainable fabrics under our risk, so that we could support the smaller buyers and designers who could start with us and grow with us to meet the mill MOQs one day. And the same model we have been trying to build up on our sewing setup also, where we want to support every kind of buyers, wherein like 50 pieces, if they even want to make 50 pieces, they can select from our ready available fabric options, and we will try to support unless it's a limitation at our end. We are trying to support as of now both wovens and knitted styles, and we have been doing baby, kids, women wear. So it's overall we are trying to be as much flexible as much possible, so that we can try to support all kind of buyers, even the small buyers. And this doesn't stop us to just do smaller orders. We have been doing bulk orders also. So it's about supporting both kind of models at the fabric level as well as the stitching level. And this is our mission, where we want to make our sewing factory also working on a similar fashion, supporting the small buyers as well as the bulk buyers. And we have got our unit SEDEX audited also. And we really believe that we really want to work on the happiness factor. We just don't want to run a factory wherein we just want to do a business where just to make money, but we want to make this grow as a family. And we invite buyers to visit our factory, where they can see the atmosphere, how the workers, how the people really want to stay back with us. The workers really want to work with us, continue working with us. This is the environment we want to give while offering service to our clients.
Thank you so much, Kunal. Always a real pleasure to hear from you and your passion for what you're doing. So thank you. Again, connect with Kunal on Co, find out more. So moving on to organic cotton colors, a really inspiring business. We have Micah in the room. Please tell us, you have 2 minutes to tell us a little bit more.
Hi, that's me.
Hi.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can, loud and clear.
Okay, okay, nice. Nice. So, first of all, thank you for joining me. This is my first time because Santi is not possible to connect with you. I will be discuss how our company, Organic Cotton Colors, can offer an ethical and sustainable alternative in the textile industry. As you already know, our company has a complete chain of custody of our processes, which allows us to have traceability from the seeds to the final delivery of the fabric or products. And this means that we can guarantee the quality and origin of our products, and we have complete control over each phase of the process. We think that our responsibility is to create an ethical and sustainable economy that protects nature and people. Because we understand that objectives and needs of each link in the change, starting with the farmer. For the reason our cultivation systems coexist in harmony with the environment, enriching the soil and supplying food to the families that work it, thus having a truly positive impact on the community. And this is how Organic Cotton Colors has created our own certification, OCC warranty, demonstrating our commitment through all our activities. Also, we are part of the B movement, hand in hand with platforms like Become, and as a B Corp company, we have analyzed our activity with the intention of identify opportunity for improvement, determining urgent actions, and having quality information on our impacts on the environment. The reality and the motto of our company is a company from seed to garment. We differentiate ourselves from other companies of offering a real impact and being a sustainable and ethical company in all aspects.
Thank you so much. I'm going to need to stop you.
Okay.
But that seems like a really good point to stop.
Okay.
Thank you. And clearly there's a lot more to be said, and you can find out more on their business profile on Co. Please do connect with Micah. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you. So moving on to Moral Fiber, I believe we have Shailini in the room, who's the founder of this inspiring business. One of the very first businesses to showcase at Co's Expo many years ago. Shailini, would you like to share an update on what you're doing and any recommendations to the audience? Welcome.
Hello, can you see me?
I can see you, yes.
Hi. So I'm Shailini, and in fact, I'm in the middle of an exhibition, so you'll find a little bit of noises around. Moral Fiber has inherently been working with innovation with artisanal work, and we had been in the forefront of sustainability. And because it is based on artisanal work, of course, with a lot of modernization, we always had a limited edition concept. So everything that we made is a limited edition because you can't be reproducing something again and again. So I think that was really at the core. And we also, from the sustainability point of view, that is the right thing to do. We don't really work with big factories, but we work with artisanal groups. So we can produce up to, our minimums are 50 pieces for clothing. For fabrics, it is 50 meters, 100 meters. So we can come with very small, but we can go as big as 5,000 meters as well or more. But inherently, the practice has been sustainability based, and that is why it is very much into a small quantity. Also, one of the beautiful thing is that once a fabric is made or product is done, because there's so many hand produced elements in it, it can't be reproduced exactly the same. So it remains a limited edition, and that is the beauty of this handcrafted industry. And I think today there is so much relevance because it's almost carbon neutral. It supports the smaller artisans, which the whole breed is dying. So it sort of works in both ways, supporting artisans, supporting environment, and dealing with small requirement, but creating a really nice curated collections. So that's what we do.
Amazing. Thank you so much, Shailini,
Thank
and
you.
for sticking to time. Most appreciated.
Thank you.
Once again, please do connect with Shailini, a real pioneer in the sector, and you'll find out more on her profile on Co. So moving on to Knitwin Fashion. I believe we do not have Vincent in the room currently, so I'm going to give a little introduction. But if you're there, Vincent, I'll look forward to hearing you and give you a chance to speak. So Knitwin's manufacturer based in India. We have a real focus on full package manufacturing from sourcing to export, and a lot of fabric sourcing through their business too. Got certified, French and Indian owned, so great for production in Europe, and both ethical fabrics and apparel with over 25 years experience. Quite a few certifications and doing some good things. So please do check them out. And now moving on to Modus Spritz, organic lace. Now this is a very popular profile on Co, gets some of our, it ranks highly on the site and also gets a lot of visitors. So I know we have Andreas in the room. Welcome. I'd love to hear from you a little bit more about your business and what you offer. You're on mute at the moment. I think you're still on mute, unfortunately. We're struggling to hear you, but I can, while we're waiting for you to sort your sound issues out, if you just keep trying, I can share with the audience a little bit about what you do. I think we may have audio now.
Now do you hear me?
That's it. Perfect.
Okay. Small troubles with the audio. So yeah. I'm Andreas from Organic Lace. We come from Germany, and we focus on low impact materials done with embroidery. Embroidery, one part is on any fabric ground, also client fabrics, elastics. And the other one is like 3D printing principle, Shipur lace embroidery without visible ground. And this is something we now do since 126 years here in Plauen, fourth generation business. So now we are got certified with this organic lace collection since 2015. And here we offer a no minimum collection. So you can order 1 meter or production orders starting at 25 or 50 meters, depending on the width of the materials and materials themselves. This is organic cotton or pea silk, and our specialities are making transparent things. So this can look like this if it's pea silk, organza, and it could look like this one if it has no visible ground. So it's an Shipur lace, embroidered lace. So used for bridal wear, evening wear, but we also produce for lingerie, lounge wear, and even we do some small brandings like this you can sew on instead of printed labels. And this is our main focus of this collection. Our main markets are actually France and UK, and also the Scandinavian countries are relevant: Poland, Latvia, Estonia, Slovakia, Czech Republic, Switzerland, and Germany. And our clients that come most far away are maybe US, Australia, but there we only have a few: Korea, Taiwan, and Japan. And yeah, so we scale the designs that we do with the clients, and we in the beginning we try to focus on production orders. But then we recognize that a lot of smaller business that they do not meet these minimum quantities. So we switch to a never out of stock collection with reduced colors, and that would be our advice. Make it simple in the beginning, use a standard in raw, white or black, and if it's working, you can get your own design and your own colors in a little higher quantities.
Thank you so much.
Maybe,
yeah.
Can you see something like this?
Brilliant.
Okay. Yeah,
we're out of time, unfortunately. Love to see more, but we're going to have to end it there. But thank you so much. And yes, to the audience, please do connect with Andreas. You'll find out a lot more very well completed business profile on Co with lots of detail, which you can get to by clicking on this link. Thank you.
Thank you.
So moving on to Citrus Fashions. And I believe we have Vinay in the room who can tell us a little bit more about what you
Hello,
do.
Everyone.
Great.
It's very nice to be a part of this webinar, and I thanks Tamsin for organizing this and believing so much in the sustainable fashion. We are Citrus Fashions, and our focus is basically on the handmade, hand-woven fabrics and hand embroidery with finishings and everything which is done in our atelier.
Oh, I think we've lost you for a moment, Vinay.
Yeah. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah. If I have to speak about sustainable fashion, for us, sustainable fashion is a culture. It's not only a product. We believe that sustainable fashion is the whole universe, and the people around it, be it the infrastructure, be it the weaving, be it the dyeing or any other thing. Unless and until it comes as a society, you are not able to define what sustainable fashion is. Like for example, even when we work with the buyers, we always tell them that we should work from the product development stage, because it helps us to understand each other's limitation. What we believe is that we have to preserve the ecosystems that we have in our villages. If we don't preserve this, these artisans are going to diminish over a period of time. And what we could only see is machines everywhere. These are coming in from generations and generations, and we cannot afford to let them go away like this. And it can only happen if fashion promotes sustainable, if consumers promote sustainable, then only we can be able to achieve what we want.
All right. Thank you. Thank you so much. Very inspiring. Please connect with Vinay to find out more on Co. And we're now moving on to Symphony Fabrics. Do we have Abhishek in the room to give us?
Thank you, Tamsin, for the introduction. So we are the specialists of hand fabric manufacturers based in India. We are GOTS, PCI, and OCS certified specialists that support low MOQs. We have about 40 to 50 different hemp fabrics in stock, which do not have any MOQs. The corduroys, for the corduroys, we cater to major multinational brands. So we always have corduroys in stock, ranging from 4 wales all the way up to 32 wales. Our MOQ for colors is as low as 100 meters. We just need the Pantone shade numbers to match the colors. As we talk about the US market, our hemp goes in the US as duty free. So if you are buying linen or other bast fibers or fabrics, you can switch to hemp and get the fabric as duty free. I would like to show a few fabrics like corduroys. So this is our 4-wheel corduroy fabric, which is used for jackets. We also have hemp fabrics in different designs, all in stock. You can buy as low as 1 meter. So these are some suiting and shirting fabrics. We also have cambric 100% organic cottons, always in stock. So that is something we can manufacture up to 153-inch wide fabrics. Lastly, I was asked if I could give any suggestions to brands who are buying low MOQs. So for that, my best advice to them is to buy best to make best. So buy the best fabric qualities and make the best product, because there are a lot of other brands in the market. So in order to differentiate yourself, you need the best product to succeed. Our goal at Symphony is to help support your brands to grow big and work with you for the same and build a long-term partnership with you. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. We really appreciate that. So we have one final exhibitor, Yevu Foundation. Unfortunately, Anna is unable to attend, so I'm going to quickly give you an update. This is a manufacturer in Ghana. Fantastic to see representation from Africa. Full service manufacturer using locally sourced Ghanaian wax prints. Female owned, led and majority employed, and they're paying above Ghana's living wage benchmark. Registers not-for-profit and provides up to 200 hours on the job training per year. So some really impressive work there, worth checking them out. You can connect with them on Co. So we're coming close to the end of our session. I'm going to recommend that you have a look at some of the content on Co. We've launching new content all the time. We have a new training series that you can access that supports you in relation to sourcing sustainable fabrics, understanding where to start, whole lot of recommendations. And I'm going to encourage you to go to the Co-Expo Hub, where you can find not only this slideshow with all the links that you need, but also we will be featuring, a few people have been asking, we'll be featuring the recording, and you'll be able to connect with all the suppliers down here in this section. And we also have curated a set of piece of content that we think is relevant and interesting for you, especially some of the training content on Co. We've got some incredible training modules, understanding sustainable fabrics and switching to sustainable fabrics. I particularly encourage you to have a look at this one. So in the fabric section of Co, one of our most popular resources is the fabric switch, which allows you to consider any sort of fabric you're looking for. So here's sustainable stretch. This is one of our most popular ones, and you can find out the key issues that you need to consider, and then you can also connect with our suppliers. So here in sustainable stretch, we have Mudspeets, who you heard from earlier, and this is their business profile, which gives you a whole lot of information about how to connect with them. And finally, a reminder that you can do quite a detailed search on Co. So if you are looking for low MOQ, you can specify that. You can find out, you can specify where you want to source from, what you're looking for, company practices, and get closer to what you're looking for. And I mentioned at the beginning that you can edit your preferences at any point on Co so that you get a better match on your dashboard. It's worth having a look at and doing that. Now, for those of you who are interested, we have another session coming up. Made by, crafted by refugees at 4 o'clock. We'd love to welcome you to be a part of that. I'm going to navigate to the slideshow here. So, and you can find 2-minute sourcing guides and a whole lot of other things here too, where you can connect with suppliers. Our next session will be starting in half an hour. So do stay in. We'll be muting and giving you a chance to have a little break. But do join us for this session, through which we'll be hearing from both the organizations working with refugees on the ground. We'll be hearing from MAID 51 and the UN's Refugee Initiative, UNHCR, about how these organizations are working to create fantastic products made by refugees, and how you as a professional or business owner can work with them. Thank you so much. Big thank you to all of our speakers. Really appreciate your time, and I hope that we can get some good connections going. Thanks again.